Hey guys, welcome back to Messages of the Moment, um, and a whole lot more actually. I just had a really cool idea I'm gonna roll with, but I'm just gonna be selecting people randomly and just doing like direct channels for specific people. So to start, I'll probably just grab like friends or family or like long lost acquaintances on my Facebook. But if you don't want to be a part of it, just let me know. If you do, like, I am gonna eventually build into like a sign up sheet or whatever, and I'll just select people at random. Um, Keep in mind, each channeling can, like, if you stumble across it, usually there's a message in there for you in some way, shape, or form. Um, but these channelings, like what I'm getting is something that's been making a lot of sense to me lately, is just like specific names. So if you have the same name as the person or a lot of the same sounds in the name, um, there's probably some message in there for you as well. As with any reading, like just take what you need to and what resonates for you and leave the rest. Because ultimately it's your matrix, so we get to pick and choose usually what energies we want to allow to influence us. And if we're not feeling those energies, then transmutations, take them, neutralize them, make them positive, make them negative if you need to. It's all good, right? Whatever's necessary to your moment. So I'm just gonna do a really quick message of the moment, and I think I'm gonna begin with some energy cards, or divine messages, or hidden messages of light. Light. I forget the name of this deck, but it's all about different energies, ultimately on the lighter side of things. So, message. Soul name. That's so rad because I was just talking about names. Soul name. It's interesting. Like, I've had a lot of friends in the past who have changed their name. We have our given name that our parents, our vessels, will assign to us at birth. It's not always necessarily your soul name, right? I mean, sometimes it can be your soul name, because if mom or dad is getting like specific downloads, messages from your higher self before you're coming in, then sometimes you will pick your name or get something a lot closer to your soul name, if not your soul name itself. It's interesting, because like the world we exist in, we have to protect ourselves, right? And there are certain things we're kind of said, like, we shouldn't share with people as much because they can make things difficult for you. Like either knowing your destiny, your name, like when it comes to stuff like spell magic and all that. And yeah, having gone through a lot of that personally, just ridiculousness, attacks and stuff like that, likely because of jealousy or whatever, right? I don't know. Like, ultimately, I just hope that those kind of intentions or whatever, is like people come to realize, yeah, ultimately everything we put out is coming back at us. So, and two, like certain things, like our name, birth date, all that stuff, it was quite the battle recently, but having come through that again, stronger than ever, because that's ultimately what any kind of battle does to us, whether we win or lose, right? It makes us stronger, or it should, you know. It's kind of the point we set ourselves up for. But I had to remind myself of something, because it was something I'd always held in the past, and then I kind of slipped away from it for a very long minute. But no one, like, if we choose not to allow that stuff to affect us, it has no impact. Nobody and nothing can take anything from you that is rightfully yours. And it's actually interesting because of this one of this divine channelings for Twin Flames. It's another YouTube channel, but I take the messages as they pop up, and they've always been quite random. It's not really consistent, and I noticed like the ones that are meant for me actually filter right through. And there was one earlier today. It actually dropped some tears on it. It was really beautiful, and I love the way it was put, because for a minute there, a while back, like I was, man, am I just gullible or naive or whatever? And I know I'm not. I got a pretty good head on my shoulders, but I just constantly have had this pattern through life where I just trust, and then something will happen, and it can be devastating, and like, God, you don't think that's possible. Somebody's supposed to be a good friend of yours, and then all of a sudden it's like you're, nothing really. Don't mean much to them. But very, like, I've always been pretty forgiving too. I don't really hold on to grudges or anything like that. And so yeah, between the two, it's kind of brought me through into some very intense moments in life. And I liked the way it was put. She keeps trusting even though people keep breaking her trust. And then it all kind of comes to a head, and it's because, like, in the end, nobody can take anything from her that's hers. And yeah, it always works its way back. It was really beautiful. So if you think you're gullible, transmute it into you trust that what is yours will always be yours. There are certain things that nothing, regardless of manipulation and any kind of trickery, magic, anything like that, there are certain things that you just can't take from people. There are certain things that need to be earned. And then once in places like that, it's very protected, and it's a matter of just trusting in that protection. So your soul name, if you know it, own it, love it. Just know it's yours, and nothing and no one can harm you unless you give them permission to. And oftentimes fighting back and stuff, like in certain ways, definitely standing ground's important, but I find, like, some of our tests, it's, if somebody's like poking, just trying to get a specific reaction out of you, and that's what they want, and they're just being totally disrespectful, then I'm not going to give you what you want. Like, the human in me has come out on a few occasions, absolutely, but ultimately, certain times it's like I might get mad, say things, whatever, but at the end of the day, why would you give somebody who's just not in a good place, not worthy of that time of yours or that energy? That's valuable energy. We can use it for other things, right? So yeah, soul name. Now we're gonna go do one more energy card here. Nice. Inward revolution. This actually, with all the stuff that's been going on, and like, you know, it's like there's a war, and we've been at war for a long time, and it's very spiritual in nature. And then the way it's trickling out here in this place, um it's interesting, you know, like everything, there's different labels and stuff that we've put on to categorize certain states of being, or cause like the effects. And you know, like I've always kind of taken things to a more spiritual side. So, you know, a person could be schizophrenic, or they could actually be sensitive and have the ability to communicate and be in tune and hear different frequencies at a higher capacity than the average person. So there's that, you know. So there's like the 3D kind of control, manipulated form of energies, and then there's like, I guess for me it's been kind of like coming from that and working my way down into this realm, if that makes sense. From, instead of going from like the roots all the way up, it was like up and coming down into it, and then go back up. That's how I feel, anyways. It makes a lot of sense for me. But yeah, the inward revolution. That is, so this whole war that's been going on, when you think about it, right, a lot of stuff, it's what we bring from inside ourselves, and it manifests into the world. Ultimately, everything around us is some extension of ourselves in some way or another. And I thought that, you know, like this war that we're fighting, like if everybody fought their own personal internal war, then the war without, it's quite possible it could bring peace, you know. Maybe not totally. There's a blog I posted, or I'm not sure if I posted it yet, I'll post it after. But I like the way Carolyn Myss, MYSS, there's an interview with her on Nature Spirits, and she just really like is blunt, straight up, like her opinion on the human species, and just how certain things are the way they are, and that's just, we got to accept that. And she does make a valid point, you know, like we've always been a destructive species. To actually exist without war, and I want to take that step further, like whatever form of war it is, you know, like an internal war, or something just in your immediate environment, you know, like there's all kinds of little mini wars throughout life. But there's always something that we're fighting. I mean, that's stress, like just to function. You know, some people have to fight each day just to function. And yeah, I think that inward revolution is like what comes after that war with self, and actually facing all the things, you know, that are externalized. But when you start to turn them back on yourself and realize the role that you play in them, and how there's actually no one to blame but ourselves. Like if we're a part of the situation, you know, then there's something there that we're contributing to, or have brought it into being, right? So it's just recognizing that, and then owning our part of it, right? And hopefully coming to good conclusions rather than shitty ones. So I'm just gonna leave it with those two cards. Actually, I like that. No, it's telling me one more. Okay. Ooh, what was that? She's already there. Haha, nice. It was already flipped up. Alignment. So we got our soul name. We've come through the internal war of self, our inward revolution, and now we're back in alignment. So let the fun begin. I love it. That's perfect. And that's the thing with alignment, right? Like in this concept of parallel, like parallel realms, parallel worlds, parallel universes, however you want to look at it. You know, like parallel lives, like when we have soul fragments that have gone off to live other forks in the road while we're here doing this, right? The subconscious. In those parallels, like until we are fully in alignment, and that could be from like the chakra perspective to, you know, mind, body, soul, spirit, and, you know, the mental, emotional, like all of that. Like it's about bringing it all into alignment. And that is, sometimes it takes lifetimes to actually process and get into that. Because, I mean, I know I've encountered fellow roamers who've encountered my personal, like, you know, doppelgangers or parallels or whatever, you know. Clones, no, I'm shutting all the clones down. They're not allowed anymore. But yeah, anyways, fragments. They'll have like encountered one of these one of me's, not long before then I come along. It'd be like a week time difference or 2 weeks or something, and they're telling me a story, and I'm just like almost in alignment. But two, then I'm asking them, you know, what did you do to piss her off? Or maybe that's me just trying to like keep it together here, and rather than like lashing out my anger at someone, which doesn't happen very often, but when it does, it sucks and I hate it. Especially when there's like a battle and it's like, don't say that, and it's in my head, and I'm like having this little war with myself in my head. It's terrible. And then my mouth's still going, and I'm like, holy shit, this sucks. But patience, understanding, acceptance, forgiveness, those are all the important details when moments like that arise. Okay. So I like that. I like the way that went. I was gonna do one. How am I doing? 18 minutes. If you're still with me, thank you for your patience. I'm gonna do one of these guys. This is a zodiac. Deck. Neptune. That's cool. Getting like a Neptune rising right now. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I'm going to read this one intuitively right now. But what I'm getting from this is there is actually a merging right now. It's very masculine in nature. It's almost like a homecoming feeling, you know, like our masculines are coming into a place within themselves again that they haven't felt in a long time. And it's real. It's giving them the strength that they're going to need and that they need to see them through whatever's going on for them personally right now. 21, 3. But I think it's just 21. And it was on the flip. Tune, the key, turn key. Yeah, sweet. It is like a retrieval integration. You know, anything that you may have been calling back to yourself, or, you know, like, because we are magnets, right? For whatever is ours that we might have lost or misplaced, or trickery, or whatever, along the way. I'm seeing that there's more that you've been calling coming back to you, being integrated. That's awesome. Neptune. And which one? Here in Goddess. But I wanted to do... Yeah, I'm supposed to do Goddess. Sometimes I can be stubborn, but I try. I've been trying really extra hard not to ignore my guides lately, because I've learned those lessons the hard way. Ignoring intuitively messages I'll get every time I've ignored. Sometimes it's been pretty catastrophic. So intuition, people, where it's just like getting back to that point where we no longer doubt ourselves. There's nothing to fear, and we shouldn't doubt. You know, like, we all have our part to play. Whatever's brought us to this point, you know, was likely necessary. Ooh. Thetis. Thetis is a Greek sea goddess who represents fertility. She is a creator goddess, for all life begins in the sea, and she is usually portrayed as a sea nymph. A beautiful young semi-divine goddess, fond of dancing and singing, she helped raise the artisan god Hephaestus. I can't say that. Hephaestus. Yeah, I'll stop. And whence provided sanctuary for Dionysus. Thetis is particularly known as a shapeshifter. When Peleus, desired to marry her, she transformed herself into fire, water, a lion, and a serpent in order to escape him. As the personification of calm waters, Thetis is responsible for providing a peaceful sea. She is that center of peace and calm that is always available, even in the midst of changing forms. She is a goddess who enjoys life's pleasures. I like that. Responsible for providing a peaceful sea, the center of peace and calm that is always available. I think that's really cute, because one of my buddies right now, like, he's been going through a rough time, and he'll just kind of pop in random times, and it's just like something's happening, and I always, like, you can always make me calm. I can always find peace. And he, like, sees water around me, or whatever, just bubbles and stuff. So it's pretty cool. I like it. Oh, beauty. Lilith was on the bottom. Lilith. I've been very drawn to her lately, and her story. I actually somewhat began a piece, like, and I want to channel it. I was going to do a bit of research and stuff, and really kind of dig around and find all the information I could about Lilith, but something's telling me I should just kind of intuitively go with it and see what story unfolds. But Lilith, I find, like, she's associated with the black moon, and that chaos, and, you know, like, she was cast out, like the first wife to Adam, and she, like, from what I understand and the feeling I get, was she just wouldn't completely answer, like, you know, like she wanted to be equal, not I will do as I'm told all the time kind of thing. And so she was like kind of cast out, and then just, yeah, shitty. You know, like, think about it. Divine feminine, like, first at the very, very beginning, it's like, number one, we're like the first one there, but then, oh, no, it's just not gonna do. I want another one. There's nothing shittier than being like second choice when it comes to love and stuff like that. Like, if the feelings are mutual, then why should it be like this big choice, you know? If, anyways, whatever, I don't know. I'm gonna channel it though. It should be interesting, to say the least. All right. I think, yeah, I'm gonna do, oh no, I'm not. I'm gonna come again. So, like I was saying, I'm gonna set it up so that people can sign up, and I'm just gonna do it at random for a while, just like whoever kind of pops into mind, or I can just, as I'm scrolling through or whatever, I get the feeling this is where I need to do channeling. That's how I'm gonna roll with it for a bit, and then yeah, like, spread the word, share my channel and information and stuff with anybody you think might be interested in this. I do offer, and I will be offering, like, personal readings. If you want to get in touch with me, we can set something up. I'm kind of all over the place, so I don't have like definitive hours, you know, like if you're somebody who works days and you function better at night or whatever, I'm the same way. Like, I like the best of both worlds. Good chunk of the day, good chunk of the night. Sometimes I'm up until like 3 a.m. But it's beautiful because there's a lot of good energy. People are sleeping, and there's all that dream energy. Many artists through time, that's how we function, you know. It's different kind of energy at that time. Lots of creativity that can be drawn from. But yeah, message of the moment. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope to see you again soon. Like, share, subscribe. Help me grow my channel. You're awesome. Good to see you. Till next time.